Hey, Trev, we were just talking about that sequence there. About the 11-minute mark, you guys are down 18-8. You shoot and miss. Caleb gets the offensive board, and you put it right back up. What was going right for you guys from that moment? Because, like I said, down 10 at home against these guys, and all of a sudden you guys just took off and took control.
Well, it was just super, like Coach said, it's an in-state game. We're going to have frustration. And so I was just super pumped that I got the ball on the wing and I shot the first one. It felt good. Caleb was able to get the offensive rebound. He kicked it right out, and I didn't hesitate because I know my team trusts me and I trust the time and work I put in over the summer. And then once I made it, we all just it was kind of just like what Coach said, it was a spark, and we started playing more as a team. And I feel like to start, their pressure kind of got to us. And then once we got that first three down, we kind of settled into our game. And like Coach said again, we went on a 30-6 run. And that's something super special, and that's something that this team's going to do a lot this year.
Hey, Trevin, so you could say that playing 3 games in 1 week is pretty tough. But what's been the biggest takeaway that you have, and what are you looking forward to playing another 3 games next week?
3 games is pretty tough, but Coach Pope is huge on getting your bodies right for the next game. And I think the takeaway was how we just fought through the frustration and how we trusted each other. I feel like at certain times we were kind of doing our own thing, and then we came together in a huddle. AB was talking to us. He's like, "Hey, let's just do our principles." And then like I said, from that time forward, we started getting our own groove. And yes, that happened in the Westminster game. That happened with all the other games we played against New Orleans. They're both great teams, but that's what we're going to take into next week when we play USC and UConn and Utah State. Is we just got to fight through this frustration, got to continue to trust our principles, and we're going to go on runs like what happened today.
Trev, you mentioned the way in that sequence when your first 3 went down, the way you missed a shot, Caleb got the rebound, and then you almost didn't hesitate. Within just seconds, took that 3 again. I think before that, you guys missed something like 7 or 8 3-pointers to start the game, and yet you didn't hesitate. Was there any not hesitation? That's not the right word, but any kind of doubt to like the shoot mentality? Did that kind of test your guys' approach with what Coach wants you guys to do, or was it just a matter of keep shooting?
Coach Pope says if we go 0 for 8, we keep shooting. If we go 0 for 16, we keep shooting. If we go 0 for 30. We got to just keep owning our shot, trust our process. And so I didn't even realize we were missing that many threes to start. When I missed my first one, I was like, if I get this ball back, I'm shooting it again because no one was on me right away. And so I got it back, and it felt really good, and I took more time, kind of got my feet set, and let that thing fly. And I think that's the big takeaway is Coach Pope trusts us so much that we can go 0 for 8 or 0 for 7, like you said. And he trusts us to continue to shoot the next one as long as we own it and kind of trust ourselves in everything we do on the court.
Let's take a question from Jay Drew and Mitch Harper. Jay, did you have a question?
Yeah, Trevin, I was just going to ask you about the depth. Is that something you guys expect going into every game, that your minutes could go up and down, could fluctuate quite a bit because you have so many players?
We have a deep team, and that's what makes this team super special. And so it could fluctuate. Like, these rotations have been different from every single game we've played so far. And so all I know is if I'm on the bench, I'm cheering for my guys on the court. If I'm on the court, my guys are cheering for me. And I think that's what makes this team so special is no matter what, we're locked in. And we don't have an agenda. We just want to win, and that's what we're going to do.
Trevin, what does it do for your confidence going forward in this rotation where, UVU's kind of getting back in and late in the second half, they cut it down, I think, 10. But then Pope has you with Harms and Barcelo and Avery and some of the key guys. Just being on the court in that stretch to kind of get it back up to pull away, what does that do for you going forward, you think?
It definitely gives me more confidence, and it definitely shows that Coach Pope trusts me and trusts the time and effort I put in over the summer and through these practices and two-a-days and everything we did to get to this point. So I was super excited, and AB brought us again together. Connor was like, hey, we got to get this going. We trust each other. Coach Pope has us on the floor for a reason, so just play as hard as you can. And that goes again with what you said, Jay, about our rotations is like we want to go as hard as we can for as long as we can, and then come out and have the next wave go as hard as they can. And so, but what you said, Mitch, yeah, it definitely gave me more confidence, and I'm super excited to go to Connecticut and see how we do.
And want to get your thoughts on what it's been like to play with Harms and to get that first game action with him, because it seems like he's got a pretty big personality both on and off the court with you guys.
Matt Harms, I love that kid. He's definitely got size, and I remember one practice we kind of got into it, and he walked up to me, and I was like, "What?" Like I've been working out, so I was like, "All right, let's go." And then I just started looking up, and I'm like, my head just kept going. But Matt is a great dude. I love him on and off the court, and it was awesome to have him out there. Like you guys saw, like he definitely changed the game for us, and it was different because like sometimes we get beat on a drive, and the default is to foul the guy, and instead of fouling, we have the best shot blocker in the country. He goes and pins it off the backboard, and so he definitely is going to change the game for us, and we're excited to have him 100% next week.